everybody, and welcome to Nick's Streams. Today we're going to be checking out our game pickups leading to August 2021. Let's check it out. Hello everybody, welcome back. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. We're going to get into these pickups. We got a huge one this month, so make sure you stay tuned. Starting off, last month, as you saw, I got the Transformers Kingdom War Force Cybertron, Megatron, the dinosaur version, T-Rex version. This month, I picked up the Optimus Primal from that set. He's not as good as the Megatron. He doesn't look as good when he's transformed into animal mode, beast mode, or whatever. But he's still accurate. Like, he costs half as much as Megatron did, so you expect half the quality. But it's still pretty cool. Cool figure. He transforms in a couple different forms. He's got, you know, Gorilla on his knuckle form, and then Gorilla standing form, and then his regular robot form. So. Retreat! Next up, going into game stuff, I got the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Special Edition Joy-Cons. Picked those up. I also grabbed the Skyward Sword Zelda and Loftwing Amiibo as well. I picked these up because usually with hardware stuff, Nintendo stuff, it gets a little bit hard to find later on. The game, I know, will be mass-produced, so I didn't pick it up yet. I'm going to wait and probably pick it up used at EB Games, which is now officially in Canada, changed their name to GameStop, even though they've always been the same company, but they say now they're officially changed their name to GameStop in Canada as well. So yeah, I was excited to get these. Game, when I played it on the Wii, a lot of people complain about the control scheme. That wasn't really what bothered me. What bothered me with that game is very linear, and it felt very small. Like, there was no sense of exploration in the game, because you would essentially get dropped in a corridor and just make your way to the end of the corridor, so that's why I kind of didn't like it myself. Now, going back to it, when I do eventually go back to it, I'm sure I'll still enjoy it. I remember the soundtrack being fantastic for that game, though, anyways.
Here's something else we've been working on. Specially designed Joy-Con controllers. The right Joy-Con controller is themed after the Master Sword, while the left features a Hylian shield motif.
Next up, the only Switch game I got for the month is Balan Wonderworld. So what this is supposed to be a spiritual successor to Nights into Dreams, same creator as Nights into Dreams and Sonic the Hedgehog. This is published by Square Enix, not Sega, but this game is supposed to be absolutely terrible. I picked it up because everybody had it on sale a couple weeks ago for 25 bucks. I said, okay, for 25 bucks, I'll pick it up and I'll give it a try. I'll see if I don't like it as much as everybody else didn't like it. We'll see.
True happiness is an adventure. Balan Wonderworld.
Next up, on the Xbox One, I picked up Darksiders 3. Now, Darksiders, if you know what the series is, it's essentially the closest thing to a traditional 3D Legend of Zelda game as you will get that isn't Legend of Zelda. So that means you have a free roaming open area, but then there's temples in the area, and the temple's all full of puzzles and a boss fight in each one, but it has more elements of God of War mixed into it as well. The combat feels a lot like God of War. So the first two are really fun games. This one, from what I hear, they decided to go a little bit more of a Dark Souls route with it, so I don't know if I'm going to like it as much, because I'm not really into those types of games. But we'll check it out, and it has recently been leaked, not for sure, but this is going to be ported to the Switch soon, from what I understand as well, because THQ Nordic's really good for putting stuff on the Switch. Next up, I have the original Xbox exclusive game, Blinks the Time Sweeper. This game here is another exclusive third-person mascot animal game on the original Xbox. There were actually quite a few of these on there. This is kind of like the popular one. This one was supposed to be the next Sonic the Hedgehog. I haven't played this yet. I don't know much about it. I'm looking into jumping into it. I hear it's not that great, but I saw it. I picked it up. What I thought was cool too, and I absolutely love this with my games, is actually in a Blockbuster case, which I love. It's still got the sticker on the back and everything. I absolutely love that. Anytime I'm picking up old games, I love it when they have the old rental store stickers on them, like especially NES games and Genesis games. They have those old mom and pop rental store stickers. I absolutely love that stuff because it is a piece of history on that particular cartridge, and I love it when they have like the address and everything on there on the sticker. To me, that's just so cool.
What's up, player?
Just chilling.
I hear that.
What?
Huh? What?
You can't fight time, but Blinks can.
Next up, I got another original Xbox game, but I think this was on other platforms as well. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Melee. What this is a kind of like a fighting game like Smash Brothers, but it's actually closer to Power Stone. 4-player melee combat. It's based on the early 2000 Ninja Turtle series. It was kind of a neat series. It was pretty good. And this game, I don't know if it's any good or not. I don't think I've ever played it. So I don't know. I'll have to pop it and check it out. Maybe it is fun. Who knows? Next up on the original Xbox, I have a complete sealed Outrun 2. Outrun 2, what it is a arcade racer like Cruisin' USA. It is a long-running Sega franchise. I have the original one on the Master System. This game, they are pretty fun. This one, like I said, is completely sealed. It even has the do not sell before October 26, 2004 sticker on the top, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I think it's worth a decent amount sealed, this game. It is an original Xbox exclusive game. The original Xbox at the beginning had a lot of Sega exclusive games. So it was really cool. I picked this up. I only paid $7 for it, so I can't complain too much. So. Next up, moving to a couple GameCube games. Starting off, I have 007 Nightfire. So what this one is, this is the third game released by EA once they got the James Bond license. The first one, I think it was Tomorrow Never Dies. I can't really remember. It was on the N64. The second one they made was Agent Under Fire. This one I haven't played, but I remember when I played Agent Under Fire, it was disappointing, but it was also good because I never played the other one on the N64 that they released. But I know when I played Agent Under Fire, I remember the enemy characters, when you would shoot them, they would just kind of like twitch. And it was like very disappointing to see that after playing GoldenEye, where, you know, they react to getting shot. So if you shoot them in the foot, they would like hop on their other foot and stuff like that. So I remember it being very disappointing in that sense. But I also remember being the driving levels that they added into being pretty fun. I'm assuming this has driving levels in it again. I haven't played this one, like I said, but I'm sure it's a decent time.
007 Nightfire, rated T for teen.
Next up, I picked up actually one of my favorite GameCube games, and I used to have this one, and I don't know where it ended up. I don't know if I lent it to somebody and they never gave it back. I don't remember. But this game is True Crime Streets of LA. Now, this game is essentially the Grand Theft Auto for the GameCube. This Grand Theft Auto 3 was never released on the GameCube, but this guy was, and I enjoy this so much. They took the Grand Theft Auto 3 formula and they added so much to it. They added an awesome hand-to-hand combat system. They put in all these cool car chase mechanics, like you can spin your car around 180, all this neat stuff. And I remember really enjoying this game, and I was surprised to see I didn't have it anymore, so I ended up picking it up for about, I think it wasn't much, it was only like $10. But this is a cheap game, but it's a super fun game. And little known fact about this, there's a sequel called True Crime Streets of New York, and then they were going to make another sequel called True Crime Streets of Hong Kong. The publisher didn't think the series was popular enough, so they actually renamed True Crime Streets of Hong Kong to Sleeping Dogs. So the Sleeping Dogs, you know, was actually the third game in this series, which is kind of cool if you didn't know that.
What do we got here?
Gunshot.
I found the slug. Wait a minute. Oh my.
The most insane driving game. The most ruthless fighting game. The most lethal shooting game is one sick game. True Crime Streets of LA.
Next up, I got an N64 game. This is the only N64 game I got this month, and that is Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I don't know much about this season of Power Rangers. I've recently started getting into collecting the Power Rangers seasons. I've been picking up one DVD set a paycheck pretty much to try and collect all the seasons. Just something snapped at me a few months ago, and where I decided I want to start getting back into Power Rangers. So I saw this, I picked it up. I don't know much about the game. I know it's a top-down perspective, but it's 3D the game, and you go around picking up garbage in the first level. So I don't know too much about Lightspeed Rescue. I don't know if they're just a bunch of garbage men running around picking stuff up, but I'll check it out in the future, see if it's any good.
Power Rangers, rescue ready!
You want real Power Rangers action? Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue is here!
Yeah!
Next up, I got a PlayStation 1 game, and that is Wcw Mayhem. So this is obviously a wrestling game based on the WCW Wrestling League. This one I've never played. I highly doubt it's as good as the AKI wrestling games like WCW NWO Revenge, which in my opinion is, is the greatest wrestling game ever made. I love that game. When I was younger, I never paid attention to the PlayStation games because I had an N64 and I had the N64 wrestling games, which were the best wrestling games ever made. So it's really hard to get into wrestling games that aren't those ones these days.
Betty, do you have a date? Would you like to go to the dance? Many arrangements for the prom? Such a dork.
Isn't that a cute dress, Betty? Yeah, last season.
Hi, Betty.
WCW Mayhem! It starts in the ring, it just doesn't have to end there! Oh my goodness!
That was so rude!
Next one I got is NHL 2000. So NHL 2000, I don't know a lot about it. I stopped playing hockey games after the Sega Genesis. So I never really played any hockey games past that. I've never played any 3D ones. Maybe I'll pop this one in and see what a 3D hockey game is all about. Next up on the Super Nintendo, I got Spider-Man X-Men Arcade's Revenge. I remember when I first played this, I played the Sega Genesis version. I don't know if this one's any different at all from the Genesis version, but I remember when I first played the Genesis version as a kid, I was so excited to play it because now you're taking Spider-Man and you're mixing him up with the X-Men and you're making a game out of it. And I was so disappointed when I played it because the game was so bad, but I saw this and I picked it up at a dirt cheap price, so I picked it up, and it's got that little LJN logo on it, which is notorious on the internet these days. But I don't know, playing through it again is not as bad as I remember playing it a little bit, so maybe I'll spend a little bit more time with it, see if it's enjoyable.
Tired of the same old fun and games? Welcome Spider-Man X-Men to the video game ride of your lives.
Wolverine, Spider-Man, Gambit, Cyclops.
Now on Genesis, the ultimate video game team. Are we having fun yet?
Next up is the big one for the month. This is a super exciting game for me to get. I was super excited to get it. I picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist last month, as you saw on the Sega Genesis. And this month, I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 Turtles in Time complete in box. I got lucky with this one, got it super dirt cheap from a eBay seller in Venezuela. Dirt cheap, complete in box. The box is a little bit rough, like the corner's missing here, and it's in rough shape, but once you put a box protector on it, it makes it look like new. So I was super excited to get this. Like I said, it is complete in box, works great. I didn't think I would ever own this game complete in box just because of the price point, and it just, I don't know, I got it super cheap and I was really happy to get it. Super happy. Next up on the Sega Genesis, I got Star Trek The Next Generation Echoes from the Past. So this game is a pretty good representation of Star Trek The Next Generation television show. You start off in the cabin of the USS Enterprise, and you can spin around and you see like Data and Geordi in the front, and then you see everybody else behind you. It's a pretty cool game, and then you fly through space. There's all these different planets you can go to, and you can do space battles, which are kind of I don't know, they're kind of simple top-down stuff, but then when you find planets, you can actually land on them and you can beam down to them, and you select all these different characters from a list of characters, and you can beam down, and then there's like a level in the that you can walk through in the game. So it's a pretty cool looking game. It looks like a pretty good representation of the show. Star Trek The Next Generation was the Star Trek of my generation, and I loved the show as a kid, and going back and rewatching it on Netflix, it's still an awesome show. Next up, I got a couple NES games. So this one is called Low G Man. So what this one is a cool game made by Taxan, the creators of the first NES G.I. Joe game. This game is super cool. You essentially have low gravity and you can jump really high. So how it works is you go to side scroller, you walk through levels, you have like a dart gun which stuns enemies, and then you can only attack to kill the enemies by attacking up and down. So the premise of the game is you shoot them with your gun, you stun them, and then you could jump on top of them and attack down with your spear, or if they're above you, you can attack above you with your spear, which is it's a pretty cool game, unique gameplay, controls really well, and it's a lot of fun. Next up, and the last game for the month, is Monster Party on the NES. Now, this game is very weird, and it has a kind of a cult following because this game is very mysterious. So now, what this game is it's this game that it's a side scroller where you walk through what is essentially becomes hell in the game, and it's so strange to see this visualization on the NES, and you go through all these doors, and the object of the game is defeat all these bosses, and every time you come across a boss, they say something strange and it doesn't make any sense, and then you have to defeat them, and it's a very weird game. Look into this. It turns out after a Japanese prototype released of this game, that all those bosses were actually scenes from movies, cut from Hollywood movies, and when they finally released the game, they had to take all that stuff out, and that's why it doesn't make any sense, because they didn't want to get sued. So, but it's a very interesting, weird game. This is a North American exclusive release, this game. Check this out. It's very strange. Watch some videos of it online. It's very interesting. Well, everybody, those are my pickups leading to August 2021. If you like what you saw, hit like. If you dislike what you saw, hit dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below. Tell your friends about this channel. Tell your friends about Nick's stream. Let them know the good times we're having here, and we'll see you later.